Hey guys, we're back. This is game two of Brawler Bash. This is going to be the one. This is going to be the one where there's a Gary Busey Greater Demon Prince or whatever in the middle of the table, and you get victory points for fighting him. But you cannot kill him on the first turn. You have to kill him on the second turn in order to get any points. Now, also when you kill him, it morphs into Mel Gibson, who's basically like a demon herald, a herald. Kill him, and it turns into Tom Cruise, who's basically just like a champion stats, and their victory points go down each time. Now, these are almost like going to be, when you see the board, like impassable terrain in the middle of the board, because you have to beat them all. You can't overrun because there's going to pop into a new guy until you kill Tom Cruise. Now, also, if you if you hurt Busey but don't kill him, he'll do like a magic missile to whatever wounded him. I think it's 2d6 plus 4 strength 4 hits. So you want him going in there with something and really take him out. We'll just take a quick look at my list. I'm going to be facing Skaven in this game. Skaven always give me a lot of fits because their shooting can really tear into me, even though I'm hordes and stuff. You figure I have plenty of wounds, but they can just tear you up. I mean, it's worse if I was playing like an elite army like elves and Bretonnians or something like that, where don't have a lot of models, and you can see other people who how much they really hate Skaven. I hate Skaven too. They just have too much shooting, and it's hard to get their points because they have so many slaves in front of them that just slow you down. So this is going to be very difficult. So let's take a look at the Skaven army. There, he's going to have two Gray Seers. So this is going to be the point where I have to already say I have to use the objective card where on the first turn double ones will be a miscast. If you're ever going to use that card, use it when you see two level 4s going against you. He's going to have a ton of slaves. And so like there's when you see this list, there's like nothing here that should scare my trolls or my savage orcs other than the shooting and the magic. But the problem is there's no points in any of these units. Like the slave units are like 100 points each. So getting the things that cost the points, which is the Gray Seers and other characters, are going to be very difficult when he can just throw so much things at you that are worthless, and he can continually shoot at you because Skavens will can still just shoot at you and magic you while the slaves are in combat with you. And plus he also has the two little rat darts to try to redirect. But the slaves are the big deal because there's so many of them. It's so hard to work through them. So we'll look at the Skaven deployment, and he's perfectly deployed here because, like I said, not only is the Busey and Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson, all them like impossible terrain for a long time until you kill all three of them, which is going to take at least 4 turns if you want to get any victory points at all. He's got a building on one side, which is basically impassable terrain with the rules we have, where, for me anyway, because you can't put more than 30 models into the unit, or I think 8 monster infantry or 10 maybe. So I can't get my trolls or my Skaven into that build. My trolls or my savage orcs. I'm already saying Skaven into that building. Then the Busey's in the middle, and then he can put on the other side all those slaves, which they're not impassable terrain, but they can hold me up so much that I can't get to his point, which is that storm vermin unit, a giant juicy storm vermin unit there, which I should be able to tear through, but I cannot get to it unless he wants me to get to it. And this is this is a perfect deployment for him. So within that in mind, here is my deployment. I decided to have my trolls in the center. I figured they can take more punishment because he can't dread it 13th, my trolls. So they'll get the points in the middle. They'll face off against the Skaven. The savages are going to swing around through the slaves. It's going to be tons of slaves, not worth a lot of points. But at least it'd be something. I got to get them in combat. And he really only combat unit he has is the Storm Vermin. Um, the savages are the perfect dreaded 13th unit target. So I got to get them into combat and not have them in the center. So I'll do a little bit of Vanguard here. I'm slowing down his rat darts hopefully. And I really, like always, want to swing the big boss around to try to get to his warp lightning cannons. This is going to be very difficult because there's a doom wheel on each side, so I kind of know that's a hopeless proposition. So he has first turn. I cannot remember what his objective is. I think it was kill my general. I think a lot of people are choosing kill my general because I have a goblin general. Anyway, He's just moving his rat darts and his doom wheels up. And if you see the little Skaven sitting in front of the hill, because that hill is so hard to place models on, that's where his big slave units are. They're not on the hill or behind the hill. They're pushed forward where the Skaven little models are up the front there. And his magic, very little to do because, he doesn't roll the double ones. I think he does get something off on one of my guys, and it really does very little. His shooting, I don't think he had got much accomplished. I know his Doom Wolf had to shoot at my Wolf Riders and did nothing to them, so I was very fortunate there. So my turn one, I go ahead and charge his Rat Dart. I cannot charge Gary Busey because if I kill him, which the troll should do, I get no points for it at all, and I don't want to just leave 300 points there. And I'm not too worried about the Storm Vermin charging it. I don't think he wants to Storm Vermin all the way up, so close to my trolls where they can't get away this early in the game. And also where I can have Manglers and Fanatics coming straight through my trolls and into the Storm Vermin as well. And here we have the board in my turn. I have shot up my Wolf Riders through the building, in between the building and the Doom Wheel, threatened his Warp Lightning Cannon. My big boss should be on the other side of that tree where you can't see him. So the Doom Wheel can't kill both of them. So one of them should be the charge the following turn and take out at least one Warp Lightning Cannon, I'm hoping. The wolves that were fighting the rats, they lost one, they destroyed the rats. And I started to overrun because I want to get into that slave unit because he has one of his warlock engineers that has the I think that's the brass orb, the one with the initiative test. In that unit, I'm hoping I can go ahead and assassinate it and get it out of the way. So now we have Skaven turn 2. He's going to decide to go ahead and have his Hell Pit come right into the wolves. Make sure I can't character assassinate the warlock that has the brass orb. And his Doom Wheel right here on the right side is going to go into the rear of my wolves. That's the target he's going to choose to go ahead and try to take out. And this is just devastating. This is a combination of Dreaded 13th and a Doom Rocket. It just melts the Savage Horde I had. I lost maybe 3 or 4 in the previous turn to a Warp Lightning Cannon or something. This is just melted it away. I only have my Great Shaman and just a handful of savages. This unit is no longer combat effective. I think it maybe can take on a slave unit still, but it's not going to go through everything now. So at this point, this unit is no longer no longer viable to the plan. And you can also going to see here the brass orb guy has moved skitterleaped out or something. I don't know what he maybe marches out. Um, there's still combat here, so he must have skitterleaped or something. Somehow the brass orb guy has gotten to the flank of my trolls. And the herding is not over. Now look, the brass orb guy, he's going to try to put the template on my trolls. It's going to scatter. It's going to still kill 2 trolls, and look how it's melted this unit of 25 night goblins. It's killed 21 of them. This is just devastating. I don't think anything else even shot at this. I've just been melted here. Or it's possible Warp Lightning Cannons killed the troll and just the template was complete on the night goblins, but 2 units have been just evaporated basically. And this is my turn too. I also forgot to note that he had let the Storm Banner go off at the end of his first turn, so that's why I've had very ineffective shooting. I think it goes away now after the start of my second turn, but this is basically the big moment of my second turn. I'm going to charge Gary Busey and kill him with my trolls. So at least I've got something done. I think I'm also going to charge my Great Cave Squig into the Doom Wheel. Um, this is basically this is basically my second turn. This is Skaven turn 3. There was other things that happened in my turn. I do take out one of his Warp Lightning Cannons with my big balls. Even though I'm going to lose the big balls to the Doom Wheel after that and during this turn. Um, he's going to charge his Skaven slaves at my trolls to slow them down some. My little 4-man unit, which had killed his brass orb guy, that also happened on my turn. They're sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. I also had my chariot move up here to slow down his hell pit, and I reformed my savages to move them away because they're basically combat ineffective. His gutter runner is going to come on. I'm hoping I can at least kill the gutter runners with them. So this is now his third turn, and this is basically how his movements have gone to this point. And when we get to the end of his turn, he has killed my chariot. I've killed a bunch of slaves, but they're going to stick. And I think he lands something on one of my other manglers. I think it might have been his other doom wheel, and the mangler kills the doom wheel on the other side. The doom wheel you don't see in this picture because the other side of this table is just like chaff fighting and stuff. I mean, even in this picture, you still don't see the far corner of the table where my punt wagon and mangler and things are. You just see this masses of slaves and the hell pit coming in towards my side of the table, where I just had that little thin line of savages to try to hold back the tide. So my turn three, my chariot's going to come into Mel Gibson. I'm going to charge. Yeah, I do charge my. This is when I charge my K Squig at his doom wheel, and I break the doom wheel, but it gets away with 2 wounds on it. I am finally with my shooting able to shoot again with no storm banner. I'm gonna start working on his storm vermin and try to pick them off. I was hoping I could get them to half strength by the end of the game. Also, I'm going to reform my bunker, try to move it away from the hell pit. I make a mistake. I should have left my level 1 orc behind and let him slow down the hell pit more, but I don't do that. And I'm going to turn my savages around to face it, the hell pit, in case the hell pit comes at them. So the hell pit can take out the savages and get a bunch of points, or take out my bunker and get a bunch of points, depending if it can roll far enough. But my trolls here are going to, kill a bunch of slaves, and the slaves are going to fail their test and just, evaporate and explode. I am going to kill Mel Gibson with my chariot, and so that's going to reveal Tom Cruise. So I've gotten 500 points just from NPCs. That's most of what I've done so far. Um, I think also he had been slowing me down with one of his warlock engineers on the other side here, and which you don't see, and I think I killed that this turn as well. And so here's Skaven turn 4, and you're going to see he's going to come blasting into the rear of my bunker. They just didn't move far enough away, and I just should have just had that level 1 orc there to slow this hell pit down. So this bunker is basically doomed. And that's going to mean my trolls are going to be in a lot of trouble with only leadership 4 if there's no general. And here's the end of his turn 4. He's going to have wither up on my trolls now. He is going to break the Night Goblin bunker with my general PSB. I'm going to fail, even with the reroll. He's going to run me down. He's going to stop short of the Doom Diver. But this is a huge loss for me because now my trolls are on leadership 4 to do anything, to even try to take out Tom Cruise. But I'm going to roll the 4 for the trolls so they can charge Tom Cruise. The chariot should have took Tom Cruise out anyway, but this at least lets me, when I overrun with the chariot after killing Tom Cruise, I can reform the trolls so that the bulk of these units is going to have to charge into the front of the trolls and not the flank, even though the hell pit can come into the rear if it wants to. Also, my mangler is going to come back through this hell pit, but it's only going to do 3 wounds, so the hell pit's going to still have 2 wounds left on it, and I'm not able to do any more wounds to it with shooting, which is very unfortunate. My savages are still hanging back here somewhere, but nobody's coming to them. So Skaven turn 5. The help is going to turn around, not go to my Doom Diver, move towards the trolls. The Stormvermin, I think this is when they charge the chariot. I flee the chariot. I don't even know where the chariot is. I think it might be way back on the back part of the table because it fled through so much stuff. I'm not really sure. It's possible he kills the chariot and he's just staying there. That's probably what happened. He's also charged the Doom Wheel into my Great Chaos Squig. I'm going to do a couple more wounds to him. He's going to do 2 wounds to me. And we're basically going to be stuck there. I at least got half points on this Doom Wheel. Hopefully I'm hoping I can kill it by the end of the game. At least have more points for that. So my turn 5, my trolls are going to fail their stupidity test and just amble forward a bit. Still nothing going on with the Cave Squig and Doom Wheel fight. My shooting is going to try to take out the Hell Pit. I think I do 1 more wound. No, I don't do any wounds to it. So it still has the 4 wounds left on it at this point. I mean, there's no point in shooting the Skaven slaves, and at this point, I'll get more points trying to get 2 wounds to the Hell Pit to try to wear down those Storm Vermin to get half points for them. And I think it's somewhere around this point where my Savage is going to charge his Gutter Runners that are on the back of the table and take them out. I don't know what happens to other Gutter Runners. No, yeah, the other Gutter Runners are fine. I think they're going to be shooting at war machines. So I apologize for these next two pictures being very dark, but these are very dark times for the Orcs and Goblins. This is going to be Skaven turn 6. He's going to charge Storm Vermin and his Hell Pit into my Trolls. And as you can see here, the Trolls lose and they're run down. I don't even do a single wound to the Hell Pit. I think I do kill his BSB though. So at least I got something out of that debacle. His Hell Pit, I think something was being glued on. That's why you don't see it in the picture. But it should be back here and like in this mess of cards and stuff is where it really is. So basically my turn 6, all I really do is put one more wound on the Hell Pit. So it's down to having one wound left. I was not able to kill it. We basically really sped through this last turn because I think we're like less than 10 minutes. Really left. I Photogork was on my level 1, so I really had nothing to do with my level 4. And the shooting, I was basically just doing shooting and moving my manglers and stuff. I was never able to. I think I was able to get that Doom Wheel up there because my Cave Squig is still alive. So at least I got the 2 Doom Wheels for the bargain. For the game, I mean. So this is going to be a victory for the Skaven, but not as bad as I feared because I'm going to get the 600 points for the three the celebrities just in the center of the table. So that was pretty good. Um, I'm still going to have on the table. I still have my Savages, which will get half points for my Great Shaman, Mangler, War Machines, and Cave Squig, and maybe my Pump Wagon might be still alive somewhere. And he's gonna still have tons of slaves in that Storm Vermin unit. I may have killed his Fellblade guy, but I don't think so. I think I just concentrated on his BSB just to get that extra 100 points. Um, this was a really interesting game because it was more fun than I thought it would be playing against Skaven, but you just could not get their points. And he had just deployed perfectly to the point where I wasn't going to get the points unless he wanted to, because I had to work my way through the NPCs or the slaves or go around the building. So it was going to take me forever to do anything. And when he was already melting my Savages on turn 2 with Dread the 13th, it really didn't matter. At that point, I just had my Trolls and I had no flank there anymore, so he could just swing around and get to my bunker. So I feel like I did pretty good, all things considering, only losing by like 900 points because of that. But this is going to take me to game 3, and I'll be taking on Bretonnian in that game. And I feel like as bad as Skaven is a matchup for me in here, I think Bretonnian is an overall good matchup for me because I have so many high strength attacks that ignore armor save that for Bretonnian they don't want to see Orcs and Goblins, whereas I don't want to see Skaven. So we're going to see that coming up in game 3. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to comment and like or subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.